Here I'm going to show you how to select a mark at random from this spreadsheet. These are the semester 1 marks that we saw in lectures as well. So if we just go down this column, taking away all the information, just so the first column is the mark 50, then 51, then 63 and so on, and we have a total of 1,416 students in here. Okay? And what we want to do is to use Excel to randomly select one of those and to give us the mark. So the first thing to do is to generate a random number that lies somewhere between 1 and 1,416. So that's the random selection part of this. So we go at equals rand between. And this is going to select an integer, a counting number, and we give the bottom of the range, which is 1, and the top of the range, which is 1,416. So that's pretty easy. So Excel does the work, right? It selects a random number somewhere between those two ranges. Okay, go. And it has chosen 249. So what we could do is just manually go all the way down to 249. Where is it? There. So the mark is 60, right? So we could stop there, 60. So 60 would be our mark. We would call that a pass, and you'll grab the grade pass and take it to your tutorial. And that's all we need to do. There is a neater way to, rather than if you randomly choose row 249 and then scroll all the way down to finding it, if you're interested, what you can also do is to go equals index, and what this does is we will do a command which will look up the mark of the 249th student. And when things get more complicated, this is something that you may want to do. So the index command is like this, and it has two things that you need to specify. The first is the range of data, which is going to be our marks. I'm going to click here and then hold down Command and Shift and go down to the bottom. Okay, and that's the array that it's talking about here. This is the form that I'm using. Next array, and I'm going to go all the way up the top again. And then the row number, which is going to be that one, in whatever is the entry in B1. If you're doing this at the same time, you probably don't have 249, you've probably got a different number. So 249 is not the correct number. You will all have different ones because you're all drawing different random numbers. Okay, so don't think of 249 as being the correct answer. And I'll just close those brackets and press enter. Now, notice two things have happened. We now have a number here, the mark of 75, but this is odd, right? It used to be 249 and now it's become 1,355. So what's happened, what Excel does is each time you do something new in a cell in the spreadsheet, it recalculates everything. And most of the time that's handy, but in the case of random numbers that might be quite annoying, because what it's done is it's simply gone and drawn another random number. And we're now looking at student 1,355 who got a mark of 75, okay, in H2A. If you want to stop Excel from doing this, and when you're drawing random numbers, you probably will want to stop it doing this so that it doesn't just keep continually drawing new students or new anything when you've decided you've got what you want. There's a couple of ways that you can try to fix that. The first thing, let's suppose we decide we're happy with this 1,355. So we'll click on that cell and we're going to copy. So I'm just going to hold down Command C to copy. And I'm going to copy that number just into this cell here, okay? But I'm not going to go paste in the usual way. There's a range of paste options here. So I'm just going to click on the arrow and see how you can paste values. And what that will do is it will paste the value that was in that cell, but it won't carry with it the formula, kind of the rand between formula, that's forcing it to update every time we click on something in the spreadsheet. So if I just click on values, okay, we now get 1,355 in there, which is, I think that was what it was before. It's obviously updated it. Of course, it's updated it again because I've pasted. So student, in fact, it's updated it, and we've just got one different now. and so student 1354 got a mark of 50. Now if we want this, so this one, every time we do something, and I'll show you, every time we do something this number is going to change again. So if I just come over here and type some nonsense, just 1 or something, see it's changed to 611 and 770 and 133. So every time I do something, doesn't matter what it is, it's going to draw a different random number. Whereas by taking that random number we had before and just pasting its value down to here, then we've stopped that updating happening. And so we've now frozen our random choice. And if we want to change this command here to instead look at reference B2, instead of B1, which keeps changing, if we point it to B2, then it won't keep changing, and that mark would be 75. So in this case, with a mark of 75, I would go along to the tutorial with a grade of H2A, and then you'll get to answer a question about that. One other way that you can stop all of that updating going on, or changing of the random numbers, you can see it's keeping on doing it as I just mess about over here, is that there is an option if you go under formulas and then this recalculation stuff. So if you go to the settings and the calculation, or in fact it's here, there it is, if you just choose calculate manually, or there's a calculate options window as well where you can find this. If we do calculate manually, then it's now going to stop this constant recalculating. Let's check that if this has worked. So I'm now doing stuff over here, and you can see it's no longer continually redrawing these random numbers anymore. So that's another way to, so then you don't have to do the copy and paste value thing. You could just switch off your automatic recalculation and then continue along. So which of those two options, the paste value or the recalculation settings, is best is depending on the structure of your spreadsheet, really. Okay, so that's enough to get you through the tutorial question, which is simply to randomly draw a student, get the mark, take the grade to the tutorial. Now just to quickly show you the same thing in a Windows version of Excel, the only thing in addition to show you, you can do all the same stuff, so there's the rand between and there is the index commands. I've already done that here. And if you wanted to stop the recalculation, and you can do the paste values, you know, there it is right there. If you want to grab that number and paste its value down to cell B2, for instance. And I'll just point out that under formulas, here are your calculation options. And here, the thing that you would select is manual, and if you select that, then it will stop the Excel continually redrawing the random numbers all the time. So essentially the same thing as what I just showed you in the Mac version.